back. This is Boomer Life on CL 650.
Just move on up toward your destination.
And welcome back to Boomer Life on CL 650. Joining us in the studio today from the BC Seniors Living Association is the Executive Director, Marlene Williams, along with Sam Zaitun, Educator Program Specialist from Vancouver Premier College. We also have Terry Lum, the Registrar from Vancouver Premier College. And last but not least, Reed, you've been sitting quietly. We got to hear a little bit from you. This is Reed Wildeman from Vancouver Premier College. He's the Director of Education. So our conversation in just before the break was centered around this new program that's basically in the developmental stages for Vancouver Premier College, and it's a program that's going to be designed to train people that are interested in supporting and working in the retirement living community, which is all great. Everybody's excited about this, but I sort of stopped you, Marlene, when you wanted to have a little discussion about some of the courses that are going to be offered. So let's pick up where we left off.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, we had our first meeting, and the college had a template outline of what they thought the courses might be, and then we all worked together and came up with some additions and made them a little bit better and added a couple of different segments.
A little tweaking, a little
tweaking, little whatever. And so the basic outline that will be presented for approval has, we think, been set, and I want them to tell you all about it because it was their hard work.
So who gets to start, Terry or Reed? Director of Education, it's all up to you.
I should speak to that. I think one key thing to start off with is that we are a private career college. So when we go to develop a program, we are focused on what the industry needs. So it's a no-brainer for us to start off by meeting with the industry, and our goal is to create professionals that will be able to be successful in the industry, a win-win situation for both the employers and the employees.
Sure, you're not going to create a program and train students and send them out into the world with no hopes of building a career.
It's very different than, say, a public education, university or college, which is fine. Just it's very different. We're very specific.
Very focused.
Absolutely. So when we set out to develop the programs with the input, we've come up with some program titles and course titles, and I think Sam will give us some detail on that. But the one key theme was that everything had to be senior focused. We've already talked about how there's so much crossover between hospitality and senior living, but there's always the but in the conversation. When you speak with Marlene or Carol, you have to be senior focused. So what our goal has been throughout the process is to take very specific courses and make sure that as we develop them, the focus is entirely on seniors, whether it be the element of customer service or how to market to seniors. Everything will be focused on seniors.
Terry, do you have anything to add?
No, not really.
That's okay.
Reed is fantastic at explaining everything there. A great overview, I must say.
I think Sam, who, as we've already talked about as well, he's got such a vast background of experience in both hospitality and senior living. He has put hours and hours of his time into the framework for these courses, and then with the input from the BC Senior Living Association, I think he could give us a good maybe outline of a couple of the specific courses and tell us what they would be about.
Definitely, I'll be delighted to. The three out of the 8 that I think I'll focus on are the overall operation in the retirement community and the element of customer service, which again, it's as Marlene mentioned and Reed mentioned, they're focused on seniors, and marketing and specifically selling to seniors. Starting with the overall operation, it's really given the students a good overall of how it is to work in a retirement community and to manage a retirement community, and more importantly is the connection between all the departments and how they are almost like a chain. You break an element, the whole thing collapses, and how important teamwork is in a retirement community. Irrelevant of what department you work at, you need to understand that your position and your job is very important to the success of this retirement community.
Of the entire operation.
Entire operations. And if you do something in a restaurant, it's going to have an impact on the front desk. It's going to have an impact on the senior. It's going to have an impact on the kitchen, and so on and so forth. And the same thing with the housekeeping department, the same thing in the maintenance department, and they all connect. And when it comes to communication in a retirement community, it is so vital that when you see something, to communicate it to somebody that can do something about it. And I usually say that it doesn't matter, I work in a hotel, work in a factory, work in a retirement community. When you see something and you feel that something needs to be done about it, pass it on to somebody and let them decide if it's important or not, or what to be done about it. And I think that goes to the retirement community as well. So part of this program, if you will, is the front desk operation itself, is the housekeeping operation itself, is the maintenance operation, the accounting operation.
Sort of the backbone.
The backbone of every single one of them, and the recreation and fitness, the transportation, the front of the house versus the heart of the house, and how they connect together, and how to explain to the employees, yes, you work in the kitchen, but how important that position is. And give the permission and the understanding to the employees that you are allowed and permitted to go out and talk to the residents. If you don't work in the kitchen, that means you're hiding.
It's bigger than just working in the kitchen.
It really is. And it's amazing of how seniors who live in a retirement community want to know everybody, and you actually do know everybody, because you encourage that as a general manager, and you want the seniors, when you pass by, not just for the cook to hide away, sign in, and run to the kitchen, no, but it acknowledges, good morning, Mrs. Smith, and how are you today? Before,
yes,
you're looking forward to serving you lunch today. And coming from a cook, or coming from somebody in the steward department that washing dishes, to become don't want to say a family, but somebody that actually show respect in a different way.
Absolutely. Seniors can be a tough crowd, because you're dealing with a group of people that have come from decades of life experiences, yes, formed opinions, expectations. It's not just dealing with a regular guest in a hotel. It's a little bit more, don't you think?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And is there any challenges that stand out that you see as challenges?
I think one thing that is critical to the students to understand is, and we addressed it a little bit earlier in the show, is this is their home. This is where they turn their key and they live. And so all the employees in that building are being allowed to be there to serve them in their home.
That's a very good point.
So that's the mentality of how, as Reed had suggested, that every part of the course that's going to be emphasized, that you're doing it for seniors. You're doing it for seniors because it isn't a hotel. They're not checking in for 2 days and leaving. And, if they didn't really have a great experience, too bad. This is their home. And so exactly what Tam said. And when I go into retirement communities, it just amazes me how everybody knows everybody's name. Oh, hi, Mary. Hi, Bob. Hi, Joe. And they're walking around and I go, how many residents do you have? 175. And you know all their names? Absolutely. And their daughters and their sons and their families. And I'm going, really? Because it's such a vital connection that the employees make with the actual seniors that live there.
So Reed and Terry and Sam, on behalf of Vancouver Premier College, it's a great program that's being developed. Any final words as we wrap this up? Share your excitement, or?
I think excitement is the right word. We were looking to, expand our programs, and we learned about the BCSLA, and we saw a need. And as I said before, a win-win. It's great when you can provide a program that is beneficial for both students who will be able to find a career, but also an industry that's growing rapidly and has a demand. So we can actually feed that industry. We can take care of the seniors as they should be taken care of in a way that fits their modern lifestyles. It's a win-win, and excited is the word. When we started working with the BCSLA, it's been nothing but positive and a great experience.
Well, that's wonderful. I hope when you finally get this program developed and underway that we can hear about it first and share it with our listeners as well.
Absolutely.
Thank you to all four of you for joining us today. Any closing thoughts, Marlene?
No, I just want to say that I do look forward to the day where we can actually make the big announcement that we have another certificate program, and I'm hoping that it will be soon. Maybe the fall, maybe not, but we're crossing our fingers.
I'm just really happy and encouraged to hear that the BC Seniors Living Association is part of this whole program in helping create a better, bigger, safer world as we all age.
Yes.
Thank you all for guests today. You are listening to Boomer Life on CL 650. I want to thank you for joining us. We say thank you to Marlene Williams from the BC Seniors Living Association, Sam Zaitun, the Educator Program Specialist from Vancouver Premier College, the Registrar, Terry Lum from Vancouver Premier College as well, and the Director of Education, Reed Wildeman. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for listening. It's been a pleasure to share this information about a new development, a new program, and a new marriage, so to speak. BC Seniors Living Association and the Vancouver Premier College. You can get more information online at their website, bcsla.ca. I'm Joanne Sutton. This is CL 650.